Hello, excuse me. Hello, my miraculous friend. This is Reverend Francis Fayden, and welcome to another episode of the Prayer Channel. This is season 2, episode number 10. We only have a few episodes left in season 2. I just want to welcome you. Prayer Channel is where you're going to hear sacred stories and channeled prayers to help you magnify your miracle. And I want to thank you so much for being part of this community, creating a world of light, love, peace, and joy through prayer, as Mother Mary has asked us to do. If you are tuning in on YouTube, hello everyone on YouTube. Please, if you like it, subscribe, and you can always click on the little bell so you'll always know when I am posting new material. And for those of you who are on our Facebook group, our free Facebook group, Prayer Channel Community, hello everyone in the community. So happy to see you. Feel free to put your comments in the chat if you like to. I get to see all the comments that come through, and I'm happy to answer any questions. So today, first we're going to light our candle. And then we're going to get ready here. Got a brand new candle. I'm going to put that over here on the altar. And let's take a few deep breaths together. Getting ourselves grounded and centered. Breathing in the energy of expansion, breathing out anything you no longer need. And just coming into this present moment, knowing that whatever it is that you need to hear today to help you have more light, more love, more joy, more peace in your life, is going to be what's going to happen. Knowing that we're going to get to hear today a prayer channeled right from Mother Mary. Let's just be so grateful and really preparing ourselves to receive that. Taking one more deep breath in gratitude, and we can begin. All right, my friend. Well, hello. And hello to everybody on Facebook. I think that's Pat. Hi, Pat. Thanks for tuning in. Well, today I'm recording this on December 7th, and we are about to embark on a very beautiful time of year that I want to share with you. And then I will be sharing Mother Mary's prayer for the month of December. So it's December 7th. We're already a week into this beautiful month and this beautiful season of light, as she likes to call it. And just adjust my camera here. I want to tell you about these amazing days. Really, it started on November 1st. We've been in the season of light, but we have this wonderful series of days beginning tomorrow on December 8th. December 8th is what is known as the Feast of the Immaculate Conception. And that's the day that, kind of on a mundane level, we associate this day with the day that Mother Mary was conceived. And then she's born 9 months later on September 8th. These are the days that we associate with Mother Mary in these events. But the energy of the Immaculate Conception is not about the event of her conception. It is about the consciousness that she represents. At least this is my take on it. Now, for those of you who don't know me, I am an interfaith minister. And so that means I honor everybody's path. I'm never going to tell you what to believe. I share my experience with you in hopes that maybe that would be helpful for you. But I encourage you to find your path and what speaks to you. So everything I'm offering to you, I'm just offering it the way that a friend would offer something that was helpful for them in case it might be helpful for you. So since 2012, I've been working with Mother Mary. I did have this amazing experience with her, which I call a visitation, I guess is the best way I can say it, when she came to be with me and she made her presence known to me. And I've been working with her and for her ever since, and channeling her messages for everybody since that time. And one of the things that has happened over these years is that I've learned more about her, not from books, but from really being in her energy and through her own channeling. She's taught me so much. And one of the things that she's taught me is the meaning of the Immaculate Conception. And the word immaculate means pure, without any um, you know, what's the word I'm looking for? Without any, hate to use the word stain, but like something that's pure. We think of like a beautiful white, um, a field covered with white snow, and there's no footprints or anything in it. It's like it's this immaculate energy. But Mother Mary talks about it in terms of um, pureness, pureness of heart, pureness of spirit, and the word conception meaning idea. And we want to remember that Mother Mary is the first one on the planet to conceive of the energy of Christ. She's the first one that was able to say, yes, I want to be part of this. And part of what I've learned about her is that her own nature is of a similar vibration, meaning that it's often said um, that she's born without sin. Well, to me, what that means is without the ego, without this sense of being separate from God, she was able to embody God's pure idea, Immaculate Conception, God's pure idea of who she is. And you have that Immaculate Conception inside of you. You are God's pure idea of you. As soon as we let go of the things that make us feel separate, even just from each other, ideas of race, ideas of gender, ideas of religion and culture and habits, and all these things that we think make us who we are, we identify with our body. It's really our ego telling us this. Now, our ego is not a bad thing. It helps us navigate in the world. It helps us so that we don't walk into a tree because we can tell, like, oh, there's a tree and I'm not the tree. And so it helps us to navigate this world in the 3 dimensions. But it becomes problematic when we identify with that consciousness of our ego and, like, oh, well, I'm separate, and therefore I'm separate from the divine, instead of doing what Christ asked us to do and look within and said that the kingdom of God is within us. So Mother Mary, in my opinion, really embodies this energy of this pure idea, God's pure idea, that she was never anything other than exactly who she was meant to be. Now, you can have a different experience, you can have a different definition, and that's perfectly okay as long as it works for you. But tomorrow is the day, and it's a powerful day to connect with her, December 8th. And then we have December 9th. And what is that? December 9th is the feast day of St. Juan Diego. It's also the anniversary of when Mother Mary appeared to Juan Diego in 1530, I think it is, in Mexico, what is now Mexico. And she appeared first on the 9th, and then her final apparition was on the 12th. We'll talk about that in a second. So we celebrate the feast day of Juan Diego and of Mother Mary coming and asking him to take a message to the bishop, which he then did. And maybe I'll share that story with you next week, the powerful story of Our Lady of Guadalupe, because it is one of my favorite stories. Even though it'll be past the date, it's still one of my favorite stories. And then on the 10th, it is the feast day of Our Lady of Loreto. Our Lady of Loreto is when we come and we have the litany of Our Lady, the litany meaning all the different names that people do. And Loreto being this beautiful town in Italy, where it's believed that the original house that Mother Mary raised the Holy Family in was actually moved. Well, the funny thing is that the story is it was moved by angels. What we find out is actually moved by a family named Angelo. So you can see how these stories get exaggerated over time. But it was actually moved by boat and brought to Italy. And so you can actually go to Italy and you can see this beautiful house in Loreto. You can Google it, Mother Mary's home in Loreto. So it is Our Lady of Loreto and the litany on the 10th. And then the 11th is Our Lady of the Angels. I love that feast day. Our Lady of the Angels, where we're reminded how connected we are with Mother Mary and with the entire angelic realm, and that anything that you need from the angelic realm, you have that instant access to those angels as Mother Mary, Queen of the Angels. Is it Queen of the Angels, or it's Our Lady, Queen of the Angels? Checking my calendar. And then, of course, we have on 12/12 the vibration of Our Lady of Guadalupe. Our Lady of Guadalupe, powerful apparition, So beautiful. And I think I will share that story with you next week. It's one of my favorite messages that Mother Mary has ever shared with her apparitions. And it is the first apparition that starts a series of them happening over the next 500 years. Now, Mother Mary's been appearing longer than that, but it's the first one that's recorded that we know of that ushers in kind of this new era of apparitions, and many of them happening then in from 1830 on. So I'll tell you more about that next week. We'll talk about Our Lady of Guadalupe, which will be a fun thing to talk about. And then we have on the 13th, the feast day of St. Lucy. And if you don't know St. Lucy, first of all, it's my mom's name is Lucy, but the word Lucy or Luke means light. And St. Lucy is a patron saint of not only physical sight, but also vision and light and bringing more light into your life. So here we are, my friends, in this season of light. And Mother Mary has stacked 6 days for you to really bless you. 6 days to bring you blessings and miracles and all kinds of wonderful energy to really support you. And what is all this energy supporting you in? Well, it's supporting you in this upcoming energy of solstice and of Christmas. And for those of you who celebrate Kwanzaa, the Kwanzaa celebration as well. And I was saying just on Sunday that the energy of the solstice is not just a day on the calendar. It can be, if that's how you approach it. What I love about the solstices and the equinox energies is that they're universal energies. They're happening whether you believe in them or not, and they affect all of us. So to me, they're even more spiritual than any religion because they transcend it. If you're here on the planet, you're going to be receiving the benefit and the effect of these seasonal changes. And so what does that solstice energy really represent? Represents a shift in consciousness. Right now, the energy is pulling you inward. If you're in the northern hemisphere, it's pulling you inward. If you're in the southern hemisphere, your energy is coming to the peak of light. But here in the northern hemisphere, energy is becoming more and more inward as we have less and less outward light and more darkness, more dark time. It's a beautiful time for that emergence of the light. And what is it? It's going to be a shift in your consciousness. So I highly encourage you, we just had the new moon energy. I highly encourage you to think about what you would like this solstice to be for you. How would you like it to support you? So if we think about the energy of the planet, it's going right around to that darkest point and then boom, it's going to turn and head back again. I think about it almost like a slingshot type of an energy. And so when we get to that point where it's like, it just can't get any darker, boom, the energy shifts and we start moving towards the light again. That's an external thing that's happening as a mirror for what's happening for us on the inside. So I'm curious to see what Mother Mary wants to share with us in terms of a prayer for this month, for this beautiful month of December. It's going to carry us into a new year vibration. It's going to carry us into, a really powerful year, that 22 vibration. We're going to see some really wonderful big things changing in that 2022 energy. And you get to decide with your little boat where you want to set your sails so that when the energy is coming, it can be leading you in the direction that you really want to go. So I'm going to ask Mother Mary, kind of tune into her. And you know what I'm realizing? Here I am on the prayer channel, and I didn't even start with my prayer. I started with my meditation. So I'm going to say my prayer now. Good thing about prayer is if you forget, you can always just do it again. Do it later. Mother, Father, God, great Spirit of the universe, we give thanks for this time together on our prayer channel. We're asking that each one of us has our inner eyes, ears, and hearts open as wide as possible, that we're able to truly see, hear, feel, and know her presence as it's being revealed to us. Of course, we know that we're always surrounded and protected in the circle of brilliant white light, and into the circle we're welcoming all of the highest beings that want to come and support us. We welcome at this time. I specifically and lovingly, very gratefully and respectfully invoke the presence of our own beloved Mother Mary to be with us and to share her wisdom and her guidance, her healing and her words, her power, all the wonderful qualities that she embodies when she comes to be with us. I'm asking for the prayer for this beautiful month of December to come through now and to bless everybody that's listening to these words. My intention is that these words go out to millions of people around the world, blessing them, helping them, sparking light and hope and joy and peace and love in them. So I'm going to turn everything over to Mother Mary. Begin by saying amen. We can see Mother Mary's presence coming here to be with us. And she's coming to us as Our Lady of the Winter Solstice. Some people might know her as Our Lady of the Snows, but she's coming all in white, all kind of bundled up. And she's looking very much like the solstice energy. And she's wanting me to make sure that I'm pointing to the beautiful fire that she has next to her. So she's standing next to this like a fire pit kind of a thing, all the wood like this. It's a beautiful blaze. And she's wanting me to share with all of you that Archangel Uriel is the beautiful archangel of this season, in this season of light, especially with the solstice. And that we want to really meditate on this beautiful light, this energy of fire and energy, and any outer flame is a symbol of our inner light and our inner flame. And let me take a look and see what she is wanting us to know for December. Okay. So right now it's a very busy time of year for many, many people. Again, if you're in the Northern Hemisphere, getting ready for the holidays, it can be hectic when the energy is actually calling you inward to be doing a lot of outward things. If you're in the Southern Hemisphere, you have the energy of summer, which is very active, and the energy of the holidays. And Mother Mary is saying that this is a time to be very gentle with yourself. This is not a time for pressure. It's not a time for increased stress. It's not a time of pushing and striving. We want to remember that, we're in this season of Advent. And I think we just had, did we have the second day of that? Yeah, we just had the second. We're going to have the third on the 12th. And we're in a state of expectation. Some people call Advent the season of waiting, but I call it the season of expecting. It's a positive energy. We're waiting, but we're expectantly waiting. And Mother Mary says that, in her time, she had to take this trip, and it was a very arduous trip at a very tender time in her pregnancy. And she's saying to all of us that if we don't have to do that, please don't do that. Don't make things harder for yourself right now than you have to make them. Okay? We all have things we need to do. We all have, jobs and projects and commitments and, things we have to do. But we don't want to push, and we don't want to force, and we don't want to make anything more difficult than we have to make it. So I love that beautiful message. Let me see what she's going to give us in terms of a prayer. Okay, so she's talking to me about the solstice. I just want to make sure I'm hearing it with the right words. Our Lady of the Solstice, I welcome your warmth. I welcome your light. I welcome your love. And I welcome your peace. Walk with me in love, light, peace, and joy. Warm my heart, warm my mind with your unconditional love, and help me to embody that love for myself and to everyone that I meet. Okay, a beautiful prayer. Probably I'm going to need to listen to it and write it down. But Our Lady of the Solstice, beautiful, beautiful prayer. So that is the prayer for the month of December. Mother Mary wanting me to share with you that the solstice is not just an event on the calendar, it's a shift in consciousness. It's a welcoming in of the light. So you can say this prayer before the solstice, you can say it after, but it's meant to help us really focus on that light that is within us. Our Lady of the Solstice is a light within us that we bring forth and that we can carry to others. First, we accept it for ourselves. We have to own and be that beautiful light, and then we can be that light for others. So that's the prayer, my friend. I will, after I'm done with this broadcast, I will listen and make sure I write it down correctly. I will post it on YouTube. I'll definitely post it in our Facebook group for sure, so that you can have this beautiful prayer for this month of December. Oh, you're very welcome, Jonette. Thank you for tuning in. Beautiful prayer. And I will make sure that I can post it for everybody. So if you can feel right now, feel that energy of the prayer, the energy of warmth, the energy of gentleness. This is a time for us to be gentle with ourselves and to not put that pressure on. Mother Mary's very clear about that. Go softly and give yourself whatever it is that you need. Maybe you need a nap. Maybe you need a little bit more downtime. Maybe you just need a break, whatever that might be. Let yourself have that. It's a beautiful, beautiful prayer. All right, my friend. Well, thank you once again for being part of this beautiful community of people who are co-creating a world of love, light, peace, and joy through prayer. Remember, next week, I will be sharing with you my favorite story, my favorite apparition story of Our Lady of Guadalupe, and how it's such a relevant message now and an important message, especially for light workers and creative souls like you. Absolutely. So have a beautiful week, my friends. Thank you so much for tuning in. God bless you. Bye-bye.